In other stories now, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has announced a date for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). A significant feature in this year's UTME is the introduction of a mock UTME specifically designed for candidates below the age of 16. JAMB Registrar Prof. Ishaq Oloyede says the initiative is not for admission purpose but to allow underage candidates test their abilities ahead of the exam. He says to qualify for admission into any tertiary institution, candidates must be at least 16 years old or on before September 30, 2025. However, brilliant candidates under 15 years may be considered if they score at least 280 in the UTME and perform exceptionally in their senior secondary certificates and post-UTME examinations. While the management of the University of Jos wants the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board to focus on regulating administration of universities and stop conducting admission examinations. The institution says JAMB should abdicate that responsibility to the University Senate and render advisory services, oversee their activities and complement the roles of administrators. The Dean of Student Affairs and Consultant Psychiatrist in UniJos, Professor Chris P. Wona, spoke to Rise News. All right, I'm joined now by the Registrar of the Joint Admission Matriculation Board, Professor Ishaq Oloyede. First, of course, to tell us the date for this year's UTM. I think we should start, a good place to start from is, what is the date for this year's UTME? I think we should start from there before we go into some of the technicalities of those who are qualified and those who are not qualified of your new policy, if I may say.
Yes, thank you very much. As we do annually, the UTME has been scheduled for between the 25th of April and 5th of May, 2025. We have about 10 days for the conduct of the UTME, 25th of April till 5th of May.
Interesting. But yeah, so let's go into the nitty-gritty of your new, should I say, policy now or standards, as it were, because you introduce a mock exam for candidate under 15, right? And then under 16. So, but we'd like to know what informed this decision and how do you see it, but what is the import of these on candidates?
Yes, thank you very much. Mock is not new. We started mock since 2017. Since 2017, the purpose of the mock is to provide a practicing platform for candidates who might not be familiar with the, who have phobia for the computer. And we feel that since some of them are coming to CBT for the first time, even those who operate their cell phone would be scared of using the computer. We felt we should introduce for those who want. We started in 2017. The difference between that and this year is that in those the previous years, they were doing it as preliminaries towards the UTME. Right. But this year, because since last year we started the enforcement of minimum period, minimum age for admission into the university system, this will prevent candidates who are trial testing, who are less than 16, who just feel that, oh, I will be due for admission next year, I want to do a practice, not for admission purpose. Right. We felt that such candidates should not be stopped. We should not say because you are not 16. There was a decision of a court that, oh, if you know they are underage, why do you allow them to write exam? Such people or such position is not taking into consideration the fact that there are students who know that they have not even secured their 5 O-levels, but they want to just practice. They just want to be there. So what we have done this year is to say, yes, those of you who are not desiring admission this year, but you just want to practice, we will give you the opportunity so that those who are writing mock, who are writing UTME, you can participate, but you give us an assurance that you are aware that you are allowed to take the exam just because you want to practice. So this is to encourage, to allow those who are SS2, SS1, if they so wish, to go and take such exam. So
okay, you mentioned in that report statement that was released that exceptional brilliant student or candidate under 15 it can still be considered for university admission.
What we are saying.
But the question, to land on that question, what criteria will be used to determine exceptional performance? That is one question. And the second thing, I mean, you said for those who want to secure admission, of course, or want to sit for admission and get into the admission into university must be 16, except for exceptional students. So, but some parents are of the belief that age restriction, should be reconsidered, arguing that intelligence should outweigh age. So, how do you respond to such argument? Parents who have such argument that my children, they are brilliant, so why should age be a factor?
The question is, who is the parent who will say my child is not brilliant? Yorubas have this say that when it comes to your mother's room, you are the best. Your mother will always boast that you are the best. There must be criteria. You must prove. We believe that age has a lot to do in maturity in terms of what you do. Age, you cannot discard age. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be prescribing that before you can be a local government chairman, because you wouldn't have been prescribing. You could have said a child of 5 or 10 could go. You cannot, biological age has a lot to do with the development of the intelligence. There are so many things that have been said, but there are exceptions to the rule.
All right.
And you must allow such exceptions, and those exceptions are real exceptions. It's not something that you just proclaim and say, I'm accepting. The Honorable Minister for Education, the current Minister of Education, mentioned it clearly when he assumed that minimum age for admission will be 16. But we are also aware that there are gifted children, and they are few. And these gifted children, we can't just dismiss them. We will have to identify them and allow them to.
That's where the question comes
in.
Now, the question, how do you
identify? There are criteria. There are so many criteria for it. We look at, if you are under 16 and you are exceptional, your records will show that you are exceptional. You take UTME, for instance. If you score 200 out of 400, how do you call yourself exceptional candidate? But if you score 80%, for example, in UTME, that is giving us signal that, oh, this person, you take a post UTME, you score 80%.
Okay. Prof, because of our time, data mix-ups have been a major challenge in UTME registration. How does JAMB intend to, tackle this issue? There is no. Because some people say, look, my name is missing, or my name is mixed up somewhere. This is not my the true, the true picture of my result and all of that. So how do you address?
No, there's nobody can say it, can even allege that mix-up is from JAMB. We don't ask for your name. We don't ask for your age. We don't ask for anything other than your NIN, your identification number. We get the data directly from NIMSI. So when you come to register, we didn't ask of your name. We can't misspell your name. So it is the name that you supply to NIMSI that the only question we ask you, send your name to 55019. And when you come to register, we don't say what's your name, where are you born from, where did you come. We don't ask such mundane questions because they are already embedded in the name that you give to us. What is happening is that there are people who are trying to tamper with one thing or the other. They are 12 today, they are 18 tomorrow, and so on, for various reasons. But our own position is this: if you change your date of birth, or you change your name, or you change anything after going now, you can't go back to your primary school and say, I changed my date today, give me another certificate. The day you register with with JAMB, whatever NIMC gives to us about you on that day, that's what we work with. If you change your name, go and do affidavit and continue to say, hi, who used to be this, I'm now this. You cannot come back to us to say you want to change your date. If you change it even with NIMC, you continue with it. So what we are saying in effect is that age 16 is the minimum. Anybody who is not 16 by September 2025 will not be qualified for admission, in 2025.
A good place to leave it. Prof. Ishaq, Professor Ishaq Oloyede is the Registrar of Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB. Thank you so much for coming on Newsnight.
Thank you very much.